Hello everyone. In this lecture, we will see the analysis and characterization of LTI system using Z transform. That is, if we are given the input and the impulse response of a system using Z transform, we can find the expression for the output of the system. Similarly, if we are given the expression for the input and output, we can find the expression for the transfer function and the impulse response of the system. Suppose we have an LTI system whose input is x of n and the output obtained is y of n, and the impulse response of the system is h of n. Then we know the output y of n is obtained by the convolution of the input x of n and the impulse response h of n. Okay, now when we apply the convolution property of Z transform to this equation, what we get is Z of y of n is y of Z, and in the right side we have convolution of x of n and h of n, and we know by the convolution property, when we have convolution in time domain, in the frequency domain it becomes the multiplication of the Z transform of the two functions, that is x of Z into h of Z. Okay, therefore h of Z is y of Z divided by x of Z, and this h of Z is known as the system function or transfer function of the given system. And here we have a block representation of an LTI system. X of an input, its transform is a transform x of Z. H of an impulse response, h of Z is the system function or transfer function, and output y of n is x of n convolved with h of n. Okay, so the transfer function h of Z of a discrete time LTI system is equal to the ratio of the Z transform of the output of the Z transform of output to the Z transform of the input signal when all initial conditions are 0. And when Z is equal to e raised to j omega, h of Z is the frequency response of the discrete time LTI system. Also, if we are given the difference equation description of a system, then we can find the transfer function by making use of Z transform. Okay, so we know discrete time systems can be expressed by means of difference equation. Here they have given a general expression of a difference equation representation. Again, y of n represents the output and x of n represents input. AK and BK are coefficients which are constants, and the equation is of the form summation k equal to 0 to capital N AK y n minus k equal to summation k equal to 0 to capital M BK x of n minus k. Taking Z transform of the above equation, we know using the shifting property of Z transform, Z of y of n minus k is Z raised to minus k into y of Z. Similarly, Z of x of n minus k is Z raised to minus k into x of Z. Therefore, we know h of Z is equal to y of Z divided by x of Z, and that is equal to summation k equal to 0 to m bk Z raised to minus k. Here there is a minus is missing here, divided by summation k equal to 0 to n ak Z raised to minus k. See, h of Z, it is a ratio of polynomials in Z and is thus called a rational transfer function. Next, we will see the relation between impulse response and step response. We know the impulse response h of n is defined as the output of an LTI system due to a unit impulse signal input delta of n, and we know that this delta of n is applied at time n equal to 0 because the unit impulse delta of n is existing only at n equal to 0, and the Z transform of h of n is represented as capital H of Z, and this h of Z is the system function or transfer function as we have seen earlier. Next is the step response S of n, that is defined as the output of an LTI system due to a unit step input signal, that is when x of n is equal to u of n. The step response of an LTI system with impulse response h of n is given by S of n equal to, we know output is the convolution between impulse response and the input, that is h of n convolved with x of n, and x of n is nothing but u of n. Now when we write the definition of convolution, discrete time convolution, we can express it as summation m equal to minus infinity to infinity h of m into u of n minus m. And we know this u of n minus m, it is existing from m equal to minus infinity to n. It is folded and shifted, unit step function folded and shifted as u of n minus 1. Therefore it is existing from m equal to minus infinity to n into h of m. Okay, so the s of n equal to summation m equal to minus infinity to n h of m. Okay, now when we take z transform of this, what we are getting is using the z of summation m equal to minus infinity to n h of m is using the accumulation property of z transform, we get it as s of z, that is the output z transform when the input is a step function is h of z divided by 1 minus z inverse, where h of z is the z transform of h of n or the impulse response. So this is written directly using the accumulation property of z transform. Okay, therefore we can write also we can express in this manner: s of n is equal to summation m equal to minus infinity to n h of m, and this is expressed as h of n plus, that is when m is n, it is h of n plus remaining some terms can be expressed in summation form like this, that is summation m equal to minus infinity to n minus 1 h of m. Okay, so if you look at this second term, this summation is same as s of n, and the only difference is in the place of n here we have n minus 1. Therefore this summation can be expressed as s of n minus 1. Clear? Therefore we can write s of n is equal to h of n plus s of n minus 1, and from this h of n is equal to s of n minus s of n minus 1. Okay, therefore when we take z transform on both sides of this equation, z of h of n is h of z, and z of s of s of n z transform is s of z, and z of s of n minus 1, using the shifting property we can write it as z raised to minus 1 into s of z. From both the terms we can take this s of z outside, therefore h of z is 1 minus z inverse into s of z. This we have obtained here, h of z is 1 minus z inverse into s of z. So this is the relation between the impulse impulse response and step response, that is their relation in terms of z transform. This is important, you must know this relationship while solving problems. Okay, now we will start with questions. Determine the transfer function and impulse response for the causal LTI system described by the difference equation y of n minus 1 by 2 y of n minus 1 equal to x of n plus 2 x of n minus 1. Here we are given the difference equation representation of a discrete time system. We have to find the transfer function and impulse response. Okay, now taking z transform on both sides of this equation, and z of y of n is expressed as y of z, and z of x of n is x of z. Therefore we know y of z minus 1 by 2 z inverse y of z equal to x of z plus 2 z inverse x of z. Here so from the left side we can take y of z outside, from the right side we can take x of z outside. Okay, therefore y of z into 1 minus 1 by 2 z inverse equal to x of z into 1. It has to be actually 1 plus 2 z inverse. By mistake they have put a minus sign here, actually it must be a plus sign here. Okay, therefore the system function h of z is y of z by x of z, and that is equal to 1 plus 2 z inverse divided by 1 minus 1 by 2 z inverse. Okay, and we have to find the impulse response. So in order to find the impulse response we have to take the inverse of this equation. So we are separating this into two terms, that is 1 by 1 minus 1 by 2 is Z inverse minus 2 is Z inverse divided by 1 minus 1 by 2 is Z inverse. And if we consider the first term, we can directly write the inverse. It is standard representation, that is inverse is going to be 1 by 2 raised to n into u of n minus, when we consider the second term, see 1 divided by 1 minus 1 by 2 is an inverse, as we have seen here. Its inverse is 1 by 2 raised to n into un. But see, the numerator is multiplied with the term z inverse, and we know this term is coming when there is a time shift. And the time shift is the original signal 1 by 2 raised to n un, it is shifted by 1 unit. Therefore, the inverse of this second term is, here it has to be plus 2 into 1 by 2 raised to n minus 1 u of n minus 1. So this is the unit or impulse response of the given system. Next question, determine the step response of an LTI system whose impulse response is given by h of n equal to minus 1 raised to n into u of n plus 2 minus u of n minus 3. Okay, so in order to obtain the h of z or the system function, we are going to first express the given h of n in a standard form. So h of n is minus 1 raised to n u n plus 2 minus u n minus 3. So it is separated the two terms, and in the first term, see here we have u n plus 2, u of n plus 2, that is a shifted unit step. So in order to get this minus 1 raised to n, again in this form, minus 1 raised to n plus 2 form, so we are multiplying with minus 1 raised to minus 2. Okay, so when we multiply these two terms, its answer is going to be minus 1 raised to n. When we multiply minus 1 raised to minus 2 into minus 1 raised to n plus 2, it is going to be minus 1 raised to n itself. Similarly, the second term is also expressed so that this minus 1 is going to get a power n minus 3. So in order to cancel this minus 3 power, we are multiplying minus 1 raised to 3. Okay, and therefore h of n is minus 1 raised to n plus 2, and we know minus 1 raised to minus 2 is plus 1. So the first term can be directly expressed as minus 1 raised to n plus 2 into u n plus 2. And the second term, see minus 1 cube, it is going to be minus 1. So minus and minus plus. So minus 1 raised to n minus 3 into u of n minus 3. Now we can make use of the time shifting property. And using the time shifting property, h of z is going to be z square divided by 1 plus z inverse plus z of second term is z raised to minus 3 by 1 plus z inverse. So grouping the two terms, we have h of z equal to z square plus z raised to minus 3 divided by 1 plus z inverse. Okay, now we know the relationship between the impulse and the step responses. S of z is equal to h of z divided by 1 minus z inverse, and it is h of z divided by 1 minus z inverse. Okay, so 1 minus, in the denominator we have 1 minus z inverse into 1 plus z inverse. Therefore it is of the form a plus b into a minus b. Therefore we can write it as a square minus b square, 1 minus z raised to minus 2. Okay, now we are multiplying all the numerator and denominator with z square. Therefore we get z raised to 4 plus z inverse by z square minus 1. Okay, we got s of z. And if you consider, see this is an improper fraction s of z, that is the power of the numerator polynomial is greater than the power of denominator polynomial. Therefore we say s of z is improper. So first we have to make it write it in proper fraction form, that is we have to divide the numerator by the denominator polynomial. So we can make use of long division for expressing that. The long division is expressed here, that is z raised to 4 plus z inverse divided by z square minus 1. Hope you all are aware of this long division process, and when we do the long division we get s of z as z square plus 1 plus z inverse plus 1 divided by z square minus 1. Remaining we'll see in the next lecture.